Hello everybody, I'm Colton and welcome back to my channel. I know this video is a lot different than ones I've posted lately because I've been pretty focused on the gaming retrospectives, which by the way I'm recording more, of course. It's a lot of work, believe me. I'm trying to put them together as quick as I can because I really want this to work. But I always wanted to cover this kind of content one day. A lot of YouTubers that inspire me go over stuff like this, right? And so this is a big topic that I wanted to start getting into, which is horror as well. I've always been interested in it, and you can even see that like with some of the games that I play. They're horror games too. And I've found this awesome horror web series on YouTube that I've come to enjoy recently. And normally I want to do something that like I've known a lot about, but for once I'd like to just delve into something that was very new to me. And it's called Lacey Games. It's by the Ghost Tundra YouTube channel. I would definitely say if you haven't, go check out the creators' videos directly. I can't give justice to that, and also they literally made the video and they deserve all the credit. But here I'm mainly going to provide a summary and then my thoughts on each episode. And also shows some clips, so expect that. My analysis may be all wrong, but these are just my thoughts, and I hope you all enjoy it. Lacey's wardrobe starts off as a typical dress-up flash game. It obviously has the very 2000s flash aesthetic. You'll immediately start hearing the cheery music and bright sound effects. The description of the game says, Lacey has a busy day today. In the morning, she will attend a picnic in the park. Then in the afternoon, she must go shopping. And finally, she will have a date tonight with the cutest guy. But there's one problem. She has no idea what to wear. Could you help Lacey put together the cutest outfits for each situation? Then the player of the game begins picking her outfit. And it includes parts such as the hairstyle, top, bottom, shoes, and accessories, the typical thing you'd expect. And that's when the player can send Lacey out of the park for a picnic. Nothing seems to be off until a figure appears in the woods for a split second. That's when the afternoon sequence commences. The music has shifted tone a lot, and it's so off-putting. Like I can't. It's so weird. The player changes her outfits again, and that's when a phone starts ringing, and a very interesting call comes over.
Lacey, did you see my stacks, Lacey? I can't wait to meet up, Lacey. I want to. Have a good time tonight with you, Lacey. Tonight. Bye-bye.
Nothing off about that at all. Though we can tell this is supposed to be the guy she's meeting on the date later tonight. Definitely seems like a great idea, I might add. A very odd screen comes up with a warping face, and also the creepy stalker starts to appear in Lacey's window, just watching her dress up. She then goes to the mall, and finally the last sequence commences. The lights of the room are dark, and the music is completely off. There's constant knocking at the door, and in the top selection there's a choice that says, "There's a gift on your doorstep." Lacey gets that option, and it's a heart-shaped box. But whatever is in the box is blurred out and seems very grotesque. Definitely not yummy chocolates, I know that much. That was, oh my god, the 3D knocking, I'm not gonna lie, it gets me, bro. Like I hate it. Like when I'm watching a video and it's like a horror video and they have sounds like that really immerse you in it. Oh my god. After that horrifying sequence, it just gets worse with another call from the stalker.
Lacey, I'm here. Did you get my gift, Lacey? Did you like it? I'm here. Open the door, my darling. Open the door. Open the fucking door!
He's very angry this time. And Lacey even starts begging you to not make her go outside from the game. She full on pleads, though it's out of her hands. The player sends her anyways, and that's when the text box says, "What have you done?" Lacey ends up at a creepy dark area with one light, and the screen goes to black. The stalker gets her here, and I'm sorry I can't really show one part of it, but I mean, you get the idea. The stalker then says how he ate her so that now they can be together forever. Finally, the game restarts the loop. This is my first time really watching any horror on YouTube in like a while, like I stated at the beginning. Like it's been a minute. Besides like other people covering, this is my first time in a long time actually watching it. And the loss of control here, like I've said, is such a scary idea. Not to mention the music. And the atmosphere progressively getting worse all around you. It's just, oh my god. I think what bothered me personally the most, though, like I said, was the knocking from that third segment. Atmospheric horror that just stays with me. Like, anything like that just really sticks with me. Certain horror elements that people try to use don't, but that does for sure. This Lacey video does such a good job at making you feel like the character. What's happening is out of your control, and you're having to hear the noises and sounds of it. Just all around, a great horror video, and I can't emphasize that enough. It's such an amazing start, and I'm glad that this person continued the series. Now we can go on to the next one. Lacey's Diner starts with the player saying, "Hey guys, today I wanted to show a very weird secret ending I found in one of those old Lacey Flash games." They say they found it in a Flash archive site, but again reference that the ending is pretty weird. I've noticed that Lacey Games is like the publisher they use in this story for this. And to be honest, at this point, I still don't know if that's important, but I've just picked up on that in all the videos. The Lacey's Diner game starts with the description, "Lacey is about to open up her brand new diner. However, she will need your help to keep up with so many hungry customers." There's a how to play section that describes the way to play is by putting the things that Lacey requests into a bowl. And obviously there's a customer getting mad mechanic the longer it takes to get their order out. It's kind of like I can't think of the game, but you know, I remember there's a DS game I played like that, you know, so on and so on. It's a pretty common gimmick. The music here is pretty chill, honestly. The game starts off as normal with a timer up at the top. The gamer then speeds up to make the time run very low, claiming that something odd is coming. And when the time gets very low, the screen turns black and fills with red. The bottom of the screen literally says, "Hurry up!" The timer beeping does make me feel stressed as hell. And the person does finish the game at the last second though, and serves the customer their meal. The Lacey image looks so disheveled though. The normal ending comes about from this happening. Though when they decide to show the other ending, that's where we go down the deep end. There's a decrepit looking kitchen with screaming all in the background. Lacey says awful things to you, and I think also herself in a sense. The diner has a desolate music play, and the customers are gone. The game takes the screen outside where Lacey says about the diner, "This is all I have," and the customers are hungry and unforgiving. It gets even worse when it shows an alleyway with the text, "If I fail, I see no other option other than," and I can't say that part, but yeah, it's an awful spiral. Every day, the person playing the game continues to repeat the process. Lacey just disappears on the second day, and a creepy form of her comes back, saying, "Failure," over and over. I think the most confusing part for me here was when the screen flashed up with very odd text. The only thing I could find of this image with the text was on a random meme website. I don't really know what it could be talking about other than referencing Lacey's failing business in the playthrough. It talks about a persona being ingrained, I think, into kids that believe bizarre lies of how easy it could be to be successful. And that relates to Lacey now facing the realities of a failing food business. I could be going so far off the deep end, but that's just my thoughts. The diner is empty yet again, And Lacey complains about patrons not just waiting 3 minutes for food. Not to break the seriousness of this video or horror factor, but I agree with Lacey here for real, as someone who works in food. Oh my god, like why? Some people are, they get so angry for no reason. That's why I'm so nice to fast food workers and everyone I know, because I know what it's like. But anyways, now in the video, it's just getting so much worse. With the awful sounds in the background, they're ramping up so bad. She even says she's running out of money to live. It shows her falling down this rabbit hole of wrath and wanting to punish them for hurting her this way. The game is completely off in day 3, with the ingredients all being just vile, each one putting new text on the screen I've yet to decipher. A lot of it seems philosophical. She creates this horrible amalgamation of a dish, and the text even says, "Censored for public health concerns." This very warped background and people all come up. The disgusting smacking noises were so awful, and the diner gets closed due to health concerns as Lacey is left with nothing. She then says, "This is it then." Then the final screen pops up with some censored imagery and the words "bad ending" pop up. There's also a last little hidden screen that says, "I'm in heaven now." I believe referencing Lacey in the game itself. I love how each of these videos gets more and more meaning, each demonstrating the breaking down of this girl's soul. It's scary, but I appreciate the effort put in. And so far, the idea of a girl being forced into seeing a guy she doesn't want to see came up, and then also her experiencing failing to make her dream come true. It's scary. I think the fact that it shifts from these scenarios we expect is what gets me. And I know that's basic, but it really does, and this atmosphere, again, it gets me every time. It's the slow buildup of a scare that really makes it for me, not jump scares. This video really delves into a deep topic, and the idea that over time anyone, but in this case a woman, can be broken down by the society we have. She first is forced into dealing with a horrifying stalker, and then has her dream beaten down by others and feel like she has nothing left to live for. It's a scary but real thing, sadly. I'm sorry for the cutoff like this, but if you've made it this far, thank you so much. And please consider giving a like, comment, or subscribing if you feel like it. Also, please check out Lacey Games on the original creator Ghost Tundra's channel. I can't say enough. There's they're an even better experience when actually watching them. I think what's significant about the gross smacking noise, other than to make you grossed out about it, is it's showing how she thinks of these people all as these pigs that are they don't care about anything. They're these animalistic tendencies are brought out of them, and they're eating all this disgusting slop, and it's supposed to be, oh, they're these vile people that treat others so bad, and this is how she sees them, and it ends up biting her in the end, even though she still is a huge victim in this instance. And I'll end up in the next video that I'm about to cover. It delves a lot more into all this stuff. Though now I'll get back to the video and to the third video in the series. Lacey's Pet Shop is third in the series and decently longer than the others. The beginning starts up with these MP3s coming from Lacey's iPod. It starts off with music and then goes to a point where a girl is being interviewed about Lacey Games. As it's being said, she helped create them, though she claims that she didn't fully make them, and it wasn't just her who created all these eerie things in them. That's when she references the one in this video, Lacey's Pet Shop. The description says, "Lacey has one of the most famous pet shops in town. People come from all over to buy their perfect little furry companion, and it will be your job to help her today." Another one where the gamer has to help her. Also, the way to play is described as making sure the pets are perfect for their new owners. and you customize them to do this. This definitely won't come into play later, wink, wink. The customers start off normal as usual, asking for things like a clean dog, a cat dyed purple, a bird with boots, French hamster with a super long neck. And as you can see, this is not right. The music starts slowing down and the animals start looking sad. A turtle with teeth, like, that is one of the eeriest things I've ever seen. If for Wendigoon the rolling giant is so spooky, that this is my version, bro. A turtle with with teeth like that, that's fine. And combined with the creepy dude smiling at him, the music speeds up as Lacey starts looking more deranged. The bunny is one of the worst before and afters. And for the 7th animal, it just shows a creepy looking dog. Once the gamer presses on it, the game says, "Uh-oh, you clicked the bad dog," and then repeats, "You made a mistake," with a scary face popping up. At this point, it really reminded me of the diner one, as it's again customers slowly eating away at Lacey's psyche. Instead of being mean by leaving the diner, they now are deranged, asking for extremely odd requests for their animals. Some are absolutely awful, and you can tell Lacey is being broken down by it. Though back in the video, a completely different place has seemed to load up. A skeleton cat is at the top of the screen. There's 2 arrows, one saying "Enter house" and the other says "Go left." There's text that is referencing Lacey when the person playing hovers over the different locations. She clicks on the cat, it hisses and says, "I won't let you pass," and brings up how it's been an awful day as its skin was taken by a bird. Like, what? Though it then says, "I have been hurt, so I will hurt others." This completely relates to Lacey in the last game. And in a way, this one too. In Diner, she is hurt by the customers not being kind, so she hurts them by feeding them atrocious food. And it's exactly what the cat is saying it's doing. Lacey says, "I should try to find that skin," and does get it from the bird, and then brings it back to the cat. This creates a horrifying looking creature, like, it's not even Sphinx cat, it's like gum, is bad. But hey, it's nice now though, and lets her pass. She enters the house with more prompts. Lacey goes one way to a locked door, though the other way leads to pigs sitting at a table. She steps in and sees them absolutely feasting. Nah, but for real. The grins are scary as hell. I feel like this is another one that could relate to the last game, like I said about the pigs, and by the end of this video, I'll get more into that and like what I think that this place in general represents. She then goes to the right and sees a clock moving backwards, and also an image she thinks is pretty. Though when the arrow hovers over the cage in the corner, Lacey says, "I feel like crawling inside of it. Please click it." They oblige, and she sits herself inside with a key next to her. She then starts speaking, saying, "Yes, I know. No one forced me back inside, but this pain just hurts so comfortably." Though she finds a key after saying she feels dumb, as it was in the middle of her edgy moment. These little goofs I like, and they make you feel more for the character. Like they really could exist. Obviously not the extreme points, but like the person themselves. The key lets her go up the stairs from before, and there's 3 rooms around. There's really odd text that shows up where Lacey normally speaks from on the HUD, and it says, "Uncle, have you seen Puddles anywhere? I can't find her. I checked everywhere. Everywhere. Stop laughing." And this to me is making me think this place is all one thing, and it may be obvious to most, though it took me a second. I want to finish out this video though before I say it. The music is a lot more sinister here. The bathroom is made to look scary, but Lacey brushes it off saying it's lemonade. The mirror is also spooky, as she says she's not scared of herself and stares in it. That's when the reflection becomes lifelike. The work put into these videos is so great. I'm gonna gush about it more later, but just wow. The off-putting nature of this is so well done. It's literally horrifying. Lacey starts screaming to go back after that experience. A creepy figure comes from under the bed of the room Lacey walks into. It kind of looks like a pig again. The screen gets covered in a haze and comes back with a live-action looking video with a mostly black screen. Lacey references how she wants to get a cat, but also how she's very hungry. She says she just can't get out of bed. She even says, "He's still under the bed. He'll look at me." Referencing that creepy image from earlier, with a very gross image popping up I can't show here. She then references another activity like going shopping, but the peacefulness is yet again broken up by a dog image, with her bringing up that it could hurt her, but then followed by the phrase, "I will let you rot." The video gets distorted badly, and once again, we're back in the house. The player then hovers over the other room where it says, "I can go in here to end it all." Once in, there's a room filled with candles and a box of matches. She lights herself on fire, and then a speech comes up.
Worried about his sins becoming too visible on his skin. He always worried about the serious things, but now, his time is back.
Clearly, that was trying to tell us something, but I'm not sure what yet. Then, the bright screen comes back with the end of the game saying, "Whew, it was just a nightmare." Grace then comes back for a quick video at the end, saying the co-founder, Rosia, must have done it, but has been gone for a long time now. And now I can say, one, that video was so well done. The horror was set up great, and it gave you the perfect amount of info without just spilling everything. It started giving context behind the games and the story, and I think that's a cool aspect. To not know who had the psyche to make the games like this, to me is also an eerie thought. Though now, I'll say what I think this whole video represents. This one almost all takes place in the mind of Lacey. All of the imagery, animals, actions, and more is in her mind. I know obviously it says it was all just a nightmare, though I think this still shows how the mind of Lacey and possibly whoever created the games works. The cat is literally Lacey herself getting revenge on those that hurt her. There's also the cage that she crawls into, saying pretty much that wallowing in her pain is normal. It's the place she puts herself in when bad things happen, and she just wants to give up. Even the mirror is literally her reflecting on herself. That's what scares her so much. This I'm about to say is just my speculation, but clearly it seems the character dealt with some awful trauma. With the line about the uncle laughing about her missing dog, something is clearly up. This also shows her running into memories in her mind that haunt her. There's even the creepy image from under the bed. She even starts telling herself she can't get out of bed, and while yes, part of that is because of whatever that creepy image is, I also think it's just Lacey and her mind not being able to get out of bed in general. She is so beaten down and hurt that she doesn't even want to get out of bed. She thinks about all these things she could do, but her mind won't let her escape. Though she finally wakes up, and even then, she can't escape the reality of what is ever on her mind. Lacey's Pet Shop was such a strong entry in the series so far. And honestly, these first three were the ones I had already watched before I wanted to make this video, or even started working on it. And it made me want so much more. especially left with the ending, making me wonder just who made these scary parts of the Flash games. Now I can get to the final video in the series where it's left off, and hopefully it'll answer some of my questions. This is a long one, so let's get started. It starts out with a small little intro music video. I know that had to take a while to make. But anyways, it introduces us to, of course, Lacey, but then two others, Macy and skater girl Jay. It introduces us to LaceyGames.com and all the characters within it. Her band seems to be called The Jammers. And what I really already like about this is it starts giving us more of a background to this Lacey character and the website and all the stuff behind it as well. Just this little thing. Like it adds more depth to actually backing like what we're experiencing. It says there's actually over 50 games, which if we've seen how bad the last 3 are, I wonder how much worse it gets. Then the music is broken up by a high-pitched scream. The graininess over the old computer audio is just great for atmosphere. Then the screen zooms out and we see Grace, who was interviewed in the last video, and a new girl named Charlie. They claim to both hear Rosia's voice from the music intro, which is Lacey's voice. The girls talk about just how much it would stress her out to do these voice lines. Charlie seems disgruntled towards Grace, as she doesn't understand why she didn't ask Rosia about why she felt so awful. She then blows it off by saying, "Oh, she was cuckoo and weird." Charlie is revealed as the interviewer from last time, and Grace gave her the files to actually access the Lacey Games website. She clearly has other intentions in this project. At least that's what I think at this moment, but I don't know quite yet what that is. As I scroll through the website, we can see a description of each character. Macy is said to be an astrology girl who's very intelligent. Lacey is said to be the more fashion-oriented and outward girl of the group, able to make friends easily. Then Jay is revealed last. She's the only one with a different name that doesn't really rhyme. And her description says she's a skater girl who gets called a tomboy a lot. She loves rock music and obviously skating. The girls come back on the screen with Charlie saying her favorite was Jay and Grace saying her favorite was Macy. And that now, Jay gives her the creeps. Rosia killed Jay off permanently in one of the games, and they then go into the first game of the video after talking about this. Jay's skating game. This website, like with the details, really do capture the 2000s computer game aesthetic really well. The description of the game says, Jay is the best at skating. Help her avoid obstacles and stay on the platforms. Easy enough, right? I personally already loved the music in it for my first time watching. Jay then speeds up further along in the level, and it now says 3 more levels to pass. Level 2 starts off with the same, with her eventually speeding up and hitting a bird. Charlie has to restart a couple times from messing up in the game. She does beat level 2, and the game seems to bug out. Level 3 of course starts off the same, but the character speeds up crazy fast, like it gets so much faster, and she zooms off as there's no platforms left. But apparently, she hits a checkered flag to finish the level. The windscreen is all distorted and presumably 1 level left to pass. Level 4 is missing the 4 in its name. Jay gets sped up super fast again and even faster than before. The level becomes an absolute hellscape where Jay eventually falls into spikes. The game then has a lose screen that reads, "You killed Jay." Like, holy, that escalated quickly. This already leans even more into the theory I described. This is all a delve into Rosia's psyche. Charlie and Grace come back again to talk about Rosia. The site then changes, and even Grace references how Rosia kept changing the site, and now Jay was dead. But she still kept appearing in creepy ways on the site after this. I think there's some merit clearly to the idea that Jay was killed off because she was the least feminine of the group. that maybe this was a form of repression or Rosia fighting with herself, not being able to accept her own self. Though back in the video, after a creepy screen, there's a small forum post that says, reply, concern over Lacey Games character, with a response that says, careful what you wish for, with a little smiley face at the end. I think this had to be Rosia messing with the people who played the website. The whole thing reloads into another Lacey game called Lacey's Makeup Parlor. The description says, everyone loves feeling pretty, and Lacey is here to help with her super awesome makeup skills. Use your creativity and imagination to give the clients makeup looks to die for. It starts off like any normal Lacey game. Though right off the bat, I don't like that the first girl's eyes are closed for some reason. Also, just the eeriness after taking pictures is weird. The process repeats, something flashes on the screen, and I couldn't see exactly what it was. On the third one, though, we see the first extremely weird occurrence. When the pencil is dragged on the face, it starts falling. There's a big fix her button, and when pressed, a real hand with gloves comes on the screen to put it back in place. The fourth one comes on and has a worm start crawling on her with a gross noise. The hand comes back to kill the worm. The fifth one has its eyes open and it looks so creepy. The hand comes back again and fixes it. You can see this process repeats a few times. Something is definitely off with these clients. That's when it gets even worse, because Jay, who is confirmed dead, pops up on the screen. Everything distorts, and we're shown a similar image, but different colors. But then, we're taken to Lacey freaking out because she's not doing makeup on live people, but dead bodies. Lacey even starts being really in denial, trying to avoid grieving, and claims she's just a client getting her makeup done, and that she also needs fixing. The facade starts coming back yet again, and then it takes us back to the usual makeup parlor setup with Jay having makeup put on. It starts with distorting when Jay's eyes open, and what seems to be worms come out, and Lacey starts sobbing. The facade fades away, and Lacey is shown to be going into full lunacy, showing her with Jay's dead body and saying she needs to fix her. This shows even more to me the idea that what needed to be fixed to her wasn't just that she was dead, but that she has tomboyish behavior. She then finally says exactly what I thought she would say. Maybe if you were just a little more feminine. Which is awful, but I knew that's where it was going. Creepily, Lacey starts putting makeup on Jay's body. Grace and Charlie come back with a distorted audio. She blames it all on Rosia, but also Grace has a breakthrough. She starts to really care to find out what happened to Rosia. The video ends with distortion and another song. Just wow. After watching this one for the first time, I was taken aback so bad. There were so many ideas brought up about acceptance in different ways. Not to mention just showing more of how Grace and Charlie are two people investigating this. To actually now find out what happened to its other creator. Before I delve into much more about what my thoughts and theories are, I'd like to say let me know in the comments if you enjoy this type of content and what you think. Anyways, I'll get into it. So first I'd like to start off with the clear going theory, at least I believe, is that this is all showing the decline of Rosia's mental state. Each game clearly shows trauma that the creator in-universe may have dealt with. Dealing with creepy guys as a woman, being beaten down by society around her, family trauma, and then finally not being able to accept reality. Each is a trauma that many girls may deal with, or anyone. There's hints spread throughout each that really show that the other co-creator, Rosia's mind is becoming scarier as time goes on. She also seemed to want to push these games to reveal what she feels are the realities of the world to young girls. Even if it is horrifying, there's even her reflecting on herself and being horrified at what she sees. And with Jay, we see her fighting to maybe even to accept just what she enjoys, literally killing off the tomboy non-conforming character of the group, saying that she needed to fix her and that she wouldn't have died if she would have just been more feminine. Clearly she's projecting, at least in some sense. Also, one thing I like is how clearly each game starts off as a facade Lacey has put on to avoid the realities of her situation until they all crumble in front of her. The bright dress-up game fading away into a creepy stalker watching her. The successful diner being just a lie when in reality the customers are brutal and it fails. The pet shop going from a cheery pet game into a literal nightmare. And finally, the makeup game becoming a moratorium makeup game. The last one doesn't break until she sees her friend Jay. She can't accept she's not alive, and she even tries to put up the facade again in the last one, trying to pull the game back up, though she can't, and it all breaks away to show the reality of the situation. That detail, connecting from the beginning, is great, and I think adds to the theory. Also, clearly, I think each of the girls is attached or connects in some way to one of the characters in the story. Charlie connects with Jay, Grace connects with Macy, and Rosia connects with Lacey. Charlie literally is the most outsider, not even being a founder of the game, and connects to the girl who is that character of the group. She's the most different from others. Grace enjoys Macy as the co-founder, but not the main character. Then finally, Rosia connects with Lacey as the main character, but also makes her psyche similar to hers, I believe. I like that now we also have people outside the screen to connect with, and actually follow them with their investigation to find out about Rosia. I feel like Grace may not know what happened to her, but does know more than she's letting on. Maybe repressing some details she doesn't want to remember or reveal. A lot of this is about trauma and also shows the repression of it. So seeing another character deal with that wouldn't shock me. Please let me know in the comments what your thoughts and theories are over the series. I am really genuinely interested in knowing, and I'm also just not the smartest, so like if you have better theories than me, enlighten me please. I really wouldn't mind it. So by the way, this is on my phone, so it probably sounds bad. I thought about this last minute, literally while I was on my drive to work. But the other kind of theory that I had is maybe, and this is like an extreme, this is not like I'm committed to, I'm more committed to the first one I said, but this one's just an idea, that Rosia is actually trapped in the game, like Jumanji type stuff, because I mean, it is really interesting how they have the whole thing where she reflects and sees herself in the mirror and she's all like wired up and stuff, but it's like a real person. And while this mostly to me just seems to be like a representation of that, she's like trapped in her mind more than anything. If they went like a full supernatural way out of left field route, they could go, oh, Rosie is trapped in the game and that's why she went missing and that's why the site's changing, because the site is literally her mind, because she is the site, itself or in it. So that's my other idea. I'm sorry that the audio of this is probably mid, but I just thought about it and I didn't want to lose it. So there you go. Lacey Games is a great web series in general, and I'm so glad I watched it. It brought me back to whenever I was younger and I watched a web series like Marble Hornets, where there was this guy's friends all investigating the situation that was around him, and I one day I thought about covering it, but I don't know if I will or not. That it'd be a long time. It'd be a huge video, but which I mean, clearly I like making those, but it'd be really long. But I miss those kind of series, and I feel like Lacey Games captured that and took it to a whole other level. The art by Ghost Tundra fits it so well. Not to mention the wonderful editing done in each, I cannot praise enough. They really all did a great job, and I hope we keep getting more. I'm super intrigued, and I hope some of you are too. Like I said earlier, make sure to check out the original videos. The horror is even better when you watch it yourself. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I know it's a good bit different than my others, but I hope this can be another type of content y'all will enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe.